Check, check.
Test, test, test. There we go. Check, check. All right, there we go. Good afternoon, morning, good evening, and good night. I'm Jason Miles. I'm a auxiliary sergeant with Dufferin OPP. I have brought Auxiliary Constable Nate Henderson along with me. He's never done one of these fraud presentations before, so he's learning just as much as you guys are. So I alluded to at the beginning that I would talk about my bio a little bit. So I am an IT specialist with a Fortune 100 company. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk to you guys about today are things that I deal with in my day-to-day duties with the company that I work for. So I can touch on a lot of these topics and give you examples and that kind of thing. So we're going to skip through some of them because honestly, there's a lot of stats and stuff that that'll put you to sleep if unless you're absolutely interested in them. But there are stats that'll absolutely put you to sleep. Like, do we want to know what the reported dollar loss to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre is? No. So we'll skip through all of that. The important one to note is that fraud is very much underreported because there's very bad stigma around somebody being duped for money. We're trying to do these presentations to put out there that we really want to drop that stigma. We really want you to report when these types of events are happening, because if we don't get it reported to us, we don't have anything to investigate. So if we're actively investigating cases and then you come along and you say, well, I was frauded, and we look at it and all of the matter is the same, we probably have a good idea that that person that we're investigating over here now is also responsible for yours. It adds more charges and more sentencing potentially when it goes to court. So this is why we get it. Victims of frauds, they suffer emotional and financial abuse. They may have medical problems relating to being victimized, that kind of thing. But the important thing is to know that they are not alone, and we get millions of people that are victims of fraud every year, unfortunately. So again, why should I report the fraud? The information could link a number of frauds together within Canada, but also worldwide. The information could progress and assist in solving an investigation. So we're just going to add your info to another case and hopefully get a stronger conviction. Public reporting, it helps us with crime trends, and it helps us target these fraud prevention and awareness presentations that we do. The previous slide deck that I had was 20 to 23 slides. This one is almost 80 if I went through it. So what does that mean? It means that the information that we've been getting feedback for with relation to people who have been victimized have helped us revamp our presentation, add new things to it, new trends, and this kind of thing. So we examine it every few years and make sure we're on the right path. So what to do if you do become a victim? I have a lot of information to disseminate here, but what to do? Try to stay calm, gather as much information as you can. Any documents, receipts, copies of any emails or text messages, that'll make more sense as I go through the presentation. We want you to report if the incident was through your financial institution. We want you to report that to them. And we want them to place flags on all of your accounts so that we don't have a repeat. Definitely change all your passwords, which I don't know about y'all, but I have probably 50,000 passwords that places where I need to put passwords in and that kind of thing. So, and we want you to report the fraud to both the credit bureaus. So there's Equifax and TransUnion as credit bureaus. So we definitely want to see reporting to both of those. We also want you to report the police to your report the incident to your local police. In this case, Dufferin County, it's OPP. There's a non-emergency number. It's not a 911 call, but definitely we want you to call. If you have a cell phone, you can do *677 on your phone. That's star OPP, and that will put you through in a non-emergency manner to our dispatchers. We want you to, if your fraud stemmed from a website or a dating site or anything like this, we want you to report those to the dating sites as well. And then if you're doing things like Facebook or Kijiji for transactions, we want you to report it to Facebook or Kijiji. and then try to protect yourself from any future frauds. Those people behind the people behind the scams will obviously try to re-victimize a second or third time with the promise of recovering money, this kind of thing. So we want to make sure that you don't get re-victimized, and so doing due diligence will help that. So who's doing the frauds? Well, it's very complex. The people that do it, they're very convincing. They would make a lot of money if they were legit salespeople, right? They're very, very convincing. This can happen. The people behind the fraud can be anywhere in the world. They could be right here in Dufferin County. They could be over in India. They could be in England, Scotland, wherever the case may be. They take advantage of technology and anonymity that the technology offers them, and the ability to easily and inexpensively reach thousands of people through this wonderful thing we call the internet, right? So how do modern scams use technology? So they will create fake websites that are very close. So if you go to scotiabank.ca, they might have scotiabank.cc. Hopefully for them, you will mistype when you're looking to go to Scotiabank, and you'll end up at a site that actually looks a lot like Scotiabank. They've mirrored it entirely. They can spoof telephone numbers use voice over IP, which is voice over internet, to mimic legit numbers. I control the phone system at the company that I work for as one of my duties, and I can make anybody's phone appear on someone else's caller ID as any number that I pick, right? We do things above the board, right? So we actually program in the correct numbers. But if I wanted to make it look like pizza, I could. Very, very easy to do. Or OPP or Scotiabank or whatever. They will entice you to download remote control software, which gives them access to your computers. And unfortunately now this is happening on these stupid smartphones, which are kind of dumb phones, right? Long live the flip phone is what I say. So they will send out phishing texts that have hyperlinks. How many people, who has a smartphone? Raise your hand. A lot of people. Okay. So, you've just been casually sitting in your living room chair right here in church, and you get this text message that CRA wants to now pay you $50,000, right? Because that's your tax return, right? Those are probably fake, but we'll go through that. But they send out links that just make everything sound way too good to be true. And you know what we say, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, so this is a sample of a fake website. This one happens to be, we pulled this from the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. This is a RCMP webpage, and somebody faked it, and hoping that they could get some people into trouble. So some forms of contact that get used, telephone calls, right? We've all received the automated dialing, I always know it's an automated robocall. When I answer the phone, I say hello, and then there's just this pause, and then a click, and then the person starts talking, and you're like, this is going to ask me about duct cleaning, which I always tell them I don't have any ducks, but I have plenty of geese if they want to come and clean those, which usually results in profanity and them hanging up on me. So they will use email or text. This is called spoofing, automation, email compromise, search engine optimization. So they can actually, it's complicated, but if you're searching for Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, they will create fake search results based on that criteria and will redirect you to somewhere that looks like the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, but it's actually not. They use social media, so fake accounts, social media bots, compromised accounts, right? How many messages on Facebook have we gotten like, don't accept a friend request from me because it wasn't me, I got hacked, right? We've all probably got those. Okay. And email or in person. So high pressure sales coming to your door. We've actually had people tell us that aggressive marketers will actually put their foot on the door and prevent the person from closing the door. Well, maybe I'm not going to say that part out loud, how I would handle that situation. So, okay. One of the first things we learn as a kid, don't talk to strangers. It's great advice. So we need to apply that to the internet as well. And there's some tips at getcybersafe.gc.ca. That is a legit site. We're not trying to fish you into going there. It's definitely not recommended to talk to any strangers on the internet or give out any information that could put yourself in a bad situation, right? Even something as simple as using, how many people use Facebook? Okay, my generation, I love it. So the thing is with Facebook is there are some sites that have these silly games that we play that are engineered to try and get your password information out of you without you even knowing that you're giving it up. Okay, so in order to come to this Facebook site, you've got to give us your date of birth, your pet's name, your kid's name, all this kind of stuff. How many people have their pet's name as part of their password? There you go. How many people have potentially your date of birth or your wedding date or your anniversary date as part of your password? How many people have your phone number as part of your password? We need to change all of that, okay? Because these things are complexly designed to get that information out of you. So now let's talk about some frauds that I want you guys to be aware of. So anybody know what crypto is? Electronic currency, right? Bitcoin, that's a cryptocurrency. So they have investment scams. If you decide that you want to invest in cryptocurrency because you see some deceptive advertising on social media, you download the trading platform, you transfer cryptocurrency into their trading account. Folks, the whole point behind crypto is that it can't be decryptoed, right? So once you transfer that money, there's a 1,000% chance you're probably not going to get it back, okay? So do things that you know are reputable and above board. Use legit trading sites for cryptocurrency if you're gonna dabble in that. People have made a lot of money on crypto. I'm not here to downplay crypto, right? But unfortunately, once you transfer that money, you can't withdraw it after the fact. So a lot of the platforms are fraudulent. They're controlled by bad faith people. They're not in it for your benefit. They're in it to scam you out of your money. So in addition to crypto trading scams, we also receive reports on suspected fraudulent initial coin offerings, which is kind of the start of a crypto thing. Okay, so these are some of the things that you might see with regards to crypto. They now have Bitcoin bank machines, right, in some places. So that's how prevalent Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is legit, just so you know, right? Bitcoin is very legit. They have NFTs. They have USB sticks that if you plug it into your computer, it will do disastrous things to your computer. So never plug in a USB stick that you don't know where it came from. If you find one on the street, right, or just sitting on the ledge over here, as tempting as it is, you're like, oh, I wonder what's on here. I wonder what salacious bits of whatever I can get, right? Don't plug it into your computer because there could be software on there that the second you plug that in, it says to your computer, do all these bad things, and now people have access to your bank accounts and stuff. Pretty scary stuff. We're going to definitely talk about an AI component that I actually told OPP about, and they added it to the slides. So be careful when you're sending cryptocurrency. Once the transaction is done, it can't be reversed. And be wary of individuals that you've met on online dating sites. Anybody dating? Good. Good. That's smart. Don't date. Just immediately jump from single to relationship. No dating in between. All right. Right. Yes. Just beware of anybody you meet on dating sites or social media that attempt to educate or convert you and convince you into investing into cryptocurrency. Do your research, ask a ton of information questions, research the team behind the offering, etc. I won't go any further if nobody is planning on doing any cryptocurrency investing or mining. No? All right, good. So we'll dodge through here. Okay, this one, we're seeing a lot of it in Dufferin County right now, and it's not just Dufferin County, it's all over the place. So the grandparent scam. So you will get a call, quite typically it's early in the morning, They're trying to catch you off guard before we've had that first very important cup of coffee, right? We're not quite awake. We don't have our druthers. And they will either claim to be a law enforcement official or a lawyer or your relative, grandkid, niece, nephew, this kind of thing. So you will get this jarring call. Hey, Grandma, it's me and I'm in trouble. Or, hey, Grandpa, it's me, I'm in trouble. Right? That's usually the start of it. We have a thing with being Canadian that we're super polite and, we don't like to offend people and this kind of thing. Hang up the phone. Immediately hang up the phone. Even if it sounds like your grandkid, hang up the phone. And I'll tell you why. Because in almost 12 million% of the cases, it's not your grandkid that's calling you. They're going to call mom and dad first, probably. Right? But there's also technologies like AI. So if I'm a bad actor, I'm looking through social media, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok is a huge one. And I'm going to go on someone's account and I'm going to take recordings. I'm going to sample their voice in their video. Then I can use AI to regenerate any sequence of phrasing using that person's voice, including real-time conversation. Okay, so hang up the phone. 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 1,000, if it's not your kid, they won't call back. Right? If it's your grandkid, they'll call back and be like, why are you hanging up on me? Right? So just hang up the phone. Okay? They will use urgency and threats to convince you to take out money to pay for bail and release the person from jail if they're pretending to be a lawyer or OPP or anything like this. They'll claim that there's a court-ordered gag that you're not allowed to talk about the case with anyone outside of your home with them. And if you agree to pay the requested amount, they will arrange to pick up the funds in person or will ask you to send cash in the mail. We had a couple of cases in Shelburne where the person actually met the person at the bank machine. And they demanded that the person go to the bank machine because tellers are trained in their anti-fraud training that every teller goes through, that if someone walks up to the counter and wants to withdraw a significant amount of money, they're going to ask questions. They're not being nosy. They're trying to help you, right? What do you need the money for? That's a lot of money. What are you doing? You buying a car? And they will watch the person's reaction, right? Because you know when someone's spinning a story, right? You know, you can tell. So can the tellers. And they'll pull you aside and be like, we think there's something else going on. We're not going to give you the money. We want you to talk to our fraud people and let's work through it and we'll help you out in this kind of thing. Okay? So if you get questioned at the bank why you're taking out money, if you're buying a car, that's why, right? And so if you tell them you're buying a car, they may ask to see any paperwork to support that because they don't want you getting scammed. Okay? So the other kind of half of this is bank investigation scam where you'll get a call. Again, it's always early in the morning before we're fully awake, aware, this kind of thing. And they will tell you that they're an employee of the bank and that they need your help. So they're working on a scam. They think someone in the bank is involved and they want you to come in and make a withdrawal and help them with the investigation. And then you'll meet the bank investigator outside of the branch and hand over the money. They'll take it back in and they'll put it back into your account for you. Sound too good to be true? Okay, good. You're all aware. So they'll there's a bunch of different ones. They want to protect the account until a new debit card is issued, and you've got to send an Interac e-transfer and do it to a cell phone number, this kind of thing. They will tell the victim steps required to add themselves as a payee and increase their daily Interac transfers to $10,000. And then they'll scam you out of that money. Interac will automatically refuse to complete any payment by a sender above the limit established by the financial institution. So it's not just a matter of, hey, I got to call Interac and tell them to increase my limit. I also have to call my bank. And guess what? Their fraud people are going to go, but why? Why do you want to go to a bank machine and take out $10,000? Sounds fishy. The suspect provides the e-transfer question and answer that the victim must use for the transfer. Sound fishy? I'm going to tell you what phrase that I want you to set up as the phrase because I know the answer to that. And then once you send the Interac transfer to the cell phone number, they'll ask the victim for the code, which is the last portion of the Interac transfer of the URL link that they provide, right? And if you provide the URL, they have the ability to deposit funds into their own account. So they now have access to your account. So this is what I touched on before. You receive an automated phone call claiming to be the financial institution, law enforcement, or in some cases Amazon, advising that there's been fraudulent transactions on their account. The suspect will then request access to the victim's computer to continue the investigation. Victims are then shown a fraudulent transaction on their online bank account because they've spoofed your bank page. They've put the text in there that's needed in the format that's needed to make you think you're looking at your account and there's a fraudulent transaction, okay? The suspect states that they want the victim's help in an ongoing investigation against criminals who stole their money and requests the victim send funds as part of the investigation. I don't know about you folks, I really like my money. Okay, so I try not to give it out to people I know, let alone people I don't know. Including my kids. I hate giving my money to my kids. So how do we protect ourselves? So those engaged in the fraudulent activities, they often use the call spoofing that we touched on, I'll expand on a bit, to mislead you. Don't assume that the phone number that comes up on your call display is the actual number that's being called from. I can tell you that on my cell phone, I have received a call from myself using my cell phone number. Not sure how that works, but okay, cool. If you get an incoming call claiming to be from your financial institution, just advise the caller that you'll call them back. End the call, wait as long as you can, because there's a thing called delayed disconnect that we'll talk about. Wait as long as you can. Give it half an hour. It's nothing that critical needs to happen right now when it involves money, right? So wait 10 minutes before making the outgoing call. Never provide details of links or URLs that you receive via text or email to individuals engaging in these types of activities. You know what, quite frankly, don't give them to anybody, right? We've all had those codes, right? It's called two-factor authentication. You go to log into your bank and they send a text to your phone and you have to enter that code in. Never give that code out to anyone else because they could be writing your transaction that your computer is doing and they can enter the code and they'll beat you to it and now the code doesn't work for you. So don't ever share that code. It actually is part of the text that you get from wherever it is you're trying to log on to that has the two-factor authentication that'll say, do not share this code with anyone, right? And if you didn't initiate this thing that caused this text message, do nothing else and they can't get in. It's quite that simple, right? If Nate tried to rob me and tried to log on and I get a code from my bank and I go, I'm in Cuba right now. I know I'm not doing anything with my bank. I'm just going to ignore the text that I got. I'm going to assume it's fake. And then Nate's not going to be able to do anything at all because I haven't validated with that code, right? So that's why that's important. Don't share codes. We just talked about that, whether it comes from text or email. Those behind the scam, they'll often provide the first 4 to 6 numbers of your debit or credit card. Remember that these numbers are used to identify the card issuer and are known as the bank identifier number or BIN. So if you have a PC MasterCard, I have a PC MasterCard, you have a PC MasterCard, you have a PC MasterCard, chances are the first 6 digits are all going to be the same on all of our cards because that identifies to MasterCard that PC Financial is the institution that's initiating the transaction or that we are the customer of. If your personal information has been compromised in the past through a breach or any kind of phishing message, remember that the information can be used as a tool to make the communication appear legitimate. Never provide remote access to your computer under any circumstances. I have employees of my company that I will message them through Teams, and I will say, hey, you called and opened this ticket with our service desk number. Here is your ticket number. I am the technician who's been assigned to your case that you opened with our service desk, and I am going to send you a remote control pop-up on your screen. They're going to get a pop-up, and then they'll go, is this you? Yeah, I just told you that I was, right? So we're at the point now where people are questioning even legitimate things, which is great. I have no issue with that, right? You're protecting a company asset by making sure that I am who I say I am, right? And our company has been hit by scams so hard lately that the only way I can reach out to my internal clients is through Teams or email. I am not allowed to phone them, because somebody can spoof my number and they can pretend to be me, or they can pretend to be our help desk if they send the outbound number as our help desk number. So I am now not allowed to call out to reach my customers who are internal employees of the company that I work for. That's how bad things are getting. That's how much of a stronghold we're trying to take back on all of these security measures, okay? Financial institutions or online merchants will never request transferring funds to an external account for security reasons or any other reason, okay? Financial institutions or police will never request you to turn over your bank card nor attend your residence to pick up your bank card. Who should hold your bank card? You, your wallet. Unless you do something stupid like I did and leave it on the roof of your car with your cell phone and then drive away, but that's another story. Yeah, we will never ask you for, police will not ask you for any of that stuff. Okay, so we'll quickly skim through the door-to-door stuff. Home services, equipment sales, this kind of thing. Victims are being contacted through ads on social media, telemarketing, and door-to-door salespeople. Just be wary of these ads on social media offering grants, equipment or services at prices below market value. What do we say if it sounds too good to be true? Probably is, right? Remember to research the company before providing your contact information, and especially before signing a contract. We won't watch this video. It is basically new door-to-door bans that came into effect a while ago. All right, service frauds for people like me who do tech support. So a person will claim that a virus has infected your computer. Alarming website pop-ups that demand you call a number urgently. Have we experienced this at all on our computers? Ignore them, they're fake. There is a way to go in and shut it down. You may need to ask someone to help you, right? But they are always fake. Most of the time. Any unsolicited telephone calls that you receive that claim to be Microsoft or other well-known computer company employees, Best Buy Geek Squad is the other big one. In my company's case, me at my company, right? And anyone that's on my team that's doing tech support. They will tell you that your computer's sending out viruses or that it's been hacked and it must be serviced. Folks, there is no law regarding computers that need to be serviced. You know, if your computer's doing something weird, it's up to you whether you want to do something about that or not. They will ask you to pay a fee to fix it for you, and that's by credit card or money transfer. In a lot of cases, those behind the scam will ask you to log into your bank account to transfer funds. And they are probably already remote controlled into your PC and have captured the keystrokes that you're doing to log into your bank account. Okay? So just hang up. Don't be Canadian. Be American. Just kidding. Just be forceful, be blunt, be prepared, right? Just hang up. If it's important, they'll call you back. Or just do what I do and just ignore the phone altogether, because That seems to be a great way to keep us out of trouble. So there was something I was going to talk about there. I'll circle back to that. So for identity fraud, cyber criminals use personal information to apply for government benefits, credit cards, bank accounts, cell phone accounts, or even take over your social media and email accounts. It's important that you take steps to secure your personal and financial information and know what to do when identity fraud occurs. As a tech support expert, as a cyber security expert, as a network security expert, I'm going to tell you the easiest thing and you're not going to like it. Change your password often and make it as complex as you possibly can.
Fantastic.
You're welcome. My current work password requirements are 15 characters. One upper, 15 characters. At least one, it's got to start with an uppercase. It has to contain a number. It has to contain a special symbol. It cannot contain any phrase that would tie me back to my company. So what do I do like an idiot? I make a 23-character password that I have to type in about 70 times a day to do the job that I do. And it's a pain, but I know I'm secure.
Can you save your password? Is that a problem?
It's not a problem. Yeah, because like Firefox and Chrome and Edge will all say, hey, do you want to save this password? Sure, as long as nobody else has access to your computer. If there's anyone else that would possibly sit down at your computer that would get access to your bank account or anything else that you're trying to log into, I would say don't save the password. And don't keep it on a piece of paper under your keyboard, because that's the first place I look. That's the first place I used to look when I worked in an office and would have to go and do support for somebody at their desk and they weren't there. I'd go, oh yeah, there it is, you dummy, right? And I'd log in to do the work. And then I'd scold them for leaving their password under their keyboard. So don't do that. My kids, I have a running joke with my kids that, it's morbid, but if anything happens to me when I'm at home, drag me to my work office. Put me as close to my chair as possible and log me on and tell them I died while I was at work. Because my insurance payoff is twice. So this is a big running joke. Somebody had a question back here. No? Okay. You did? Okay.
You say make it as complicated as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what
This is one of my favorite, I love, because it can be a phrase, it can have spaces in it. A lot of people don't know you could put spaces in it, right? So one of my passwords at one point was, this password requirement is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. Exclamation mark, 99, we're done, right? So make it fun, make it something you're gonna remember, make it so that it's something you're gonna laugh at every time you have to type it in, right? You could use the first initial of each one of your kids' and grandkids' names in succession, right? And then put like the number of kids that there are, right? 18 kids and counting, right? And then some kind of exclamation mark or hashtag or, something like that. Just have fun with it, but don't make it so complex that you have to reset it every time you try to log on because you can't remember it. Because I've done that. So, and I'm tech savvy. I'm very tech savvy. All right, so if you get an unsolicited email, so an unsolicited email is one that came to you without you taking any action to solicit that email, right? All of a sudden I just email you out of the blue and I say, hey, I'm doing some support in your area, what's your password, so I can cross-check it to make sure it's safe. That sounds legit, right? No. So we're going to ignore those. We're going to ignore the umpteen unsolicited text messages that we get, the phone calls asking for personal or financial information. Be careful about giving away any information. We don't want to give away your birth date, your social insurance number, right? The only person you should know your social insurance number is you, the government, and your current employer, right? Those are the only three people, and your current employer needs it so they can pay you and file tax documents to the government, right? Because I don't know if y'all know this, but with CRA, when you do your taxes, they already have your T4 stuff from your employer because your employer is obligated to send it to them. So if you then do unscrupulous things on your taxes, you're going to get audited. Don't click on or reply to any email that looks suspicious. We're going to look for spelling and grammar errors. The government is not going to send you something that has a spelling mistake in it, because they're going to have 50 consultants look over that email before they send it out, right? Don't open an attachment from spam or a sender not known to you. Never use automatic login features that automatically save your passwords. So the answer to my question now is no. Don't save your password, right? Goes against what we're trying to do here. So carefully consider what you're putting out there through email and social networking sites. There's a couple of local Facebook groups for Orangeville that I shake my head at, because the amount of things people put out there. If I was your prospective employer and and I see how you're behaving online, you're not getting the job. Simple as that. Choose strong passwords. This is the dumbest password I've ever seen. Exclamation. Right? Do all that kind of stuff. Anybody know what phishing is? Not the actual one you do in the pond, but one that happens at your computer, right? They try to get information out of you. So it's one of the easiest ways for people engaging in fraudulent activities to steal your login credentials, personal information, and infiltrate your business networks. My company's network, September 1. Cut off. Somebody hacked us. They did a great job. We immediately responded by taking all 932 of our servers offline. And then we had to patch all 932 servers. 5,000 workstations. It was a brutal undertaking because somebody slipped up and let someone into our network. So it happens. We spend millions of dollars on technology and people and processes, and we do things where we have ethical hackers try to break into our network so we can find out before someone bad finds out where our weaknesses are, right? These things are being done in major corporations. We still got duped, okay? So that's how it happens. Individuals engaged in fraudulent activities will use mass email or text campaigns to send messages. They appear to be from recognized institutions, companies, or government agencies. They may claim that you need to update your account. We've all gotten those, right? It's time to update your password. It's already 23 characters, man. What do you want me to update it to? They may claim that you need to update your account or money's ready to be deposited. Oh, right. Who doesn't want free money? No such thing as free money. Tactics could be email and website name spoofing. The big one is the sense of urgency. You must do this by 5 o'clock, right? Offers of refunds or money, seemingly harmless requests to click links, download attachments, or fill out forms online, or instructions to scan a QR code. This is the sample kind of message that we would potentially get from CRA, right? I've been driving to fraud presentations and got these messages like, look, see, it happens. Yeah, so anytime you see that kind of stuff, if you haven't filed your taxes, you're not getting a return. It's as simple as that. If you have filed your taxes, you probably already know what you're getting because it was part of the paperwork you submitted, right? And so if you're getting a refund of $400 and then all of a sudden you get a text that says you're getting, $322.50, you go, hold on, something's not right. Or worse, $3,220. Tempting to click on, probably not a good idea. So how do we spot a phishing message? Well, this is the big one that's circulating right now. The Ontario courts, this is a final reminder regarding your unpaid fine that has not yet been settled. It is strongly advised to resolve your case as soon as possible before February 29th, 2024. Was there a February 29th, 2024? Could be fishy, right? Maybe there was actually, I don't know. And then you're going to hit with a late fee, and then here's where they get you, right? Because it looks legit, because it says Ontario Courts right there. But then the giveaway for me is the -webpayment.com. If it was a legit thing that I had to pay to the government, it would be webpayment.ontariocourts.com, not the other way around. So at that point, webpayment.com is the domain that they're making look like it's an official Ontario site. So you can forward that message to 7726 on your cell phone, and that reports it to all the right people. That alerts your cell provider to open an investigation on the contents of the message. Anybody have an iPhone? There's a link that you can just report spam. I don't know about Android. There's probably one on there too. They probably just copy each other on all the features, right? So I know for me, I just go report spam, and then I never hear about it again. So, anybody dating? No, I think we covered this before, right? Don't date. Go right from single to married. Okay, that's how we do it. So if we're not dating, I'm going to hope that there's nobody on our online stream also that's dating, but I'll skim it really quickly. Don't give information to people from dating sites, right? There's a big thing where somebody will, it's love. I get it. We all want to be loved. It's the most amazing feeling in the world when it's in the puppy love stage, right? Just at the beginning, where it's like, oh my God, you're so cute. Oh no, you're so cute, right? Yeah. Give me a break, right? So the thing is then somebody will profess their love for you, you will fall a little bit further, and then the requests for money start coming. Oh, I ran into some problem. My car broke down. Do you think you could loan me $1,000? Right? $2,000. Then it becomes $3,000, and then they got a business problem and they can't afford a lawyer, and then they need to travel somewhere and they don't have the money, and we just keep handing over our money, right? Be aware for those signs. If someone professes their love too quickly, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. So they want to try and gain your trust, your affection, and then ultimately your money. Everybody have Netflix? Nobody has Netflix? 5 people have Netflix. The Tinder swindler is the most amazing and incredibly scary example of this I've ever seen in my life. This guy was active on dating sites, pre-funding money to wine and dine, limousine, private jet, the people that he was currently with. And then when those people would figure out the scam, he'd move into the next phase and start pre-scamming the next group of people. And spoiler alert, they eventually did catch up to him. It took a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and one lady who finally said, I'm reporting this because enough is enough. Right? Because if he's doing it to me, he's probably doing it to 50 other people, and she was right.
What was it called again?
The Tinder swindler. Tinder? It's a dating site. Well, it's a dating site, right? But yeah, the Tinder swindler. Great story. You're yelling at your TV while you're watching, going like, how could you be so stupid? All this kind of stuff. And then when he gets caught, you're like, all right, he got caught. He got out and he started doing it again. So, spoiler alert. So this is the thing. So the people behind the scam, they'll never pay the money back because the reasons that they got you out of your money are not even anywhere remotely accurate. Nobody would give you money if you just said, I just want $50 of your money, not mine, right? That wouldn't work. That wouldn't go so well. My kids did it for the first 20 years, and then I got smart. All right, so crypto ROM, it's another variation. Nobody here's dating. We won't spend too much time on it. If you're interested in it, Google it, right? There's you'll go down a rabbit hole that you didn't even know existed. So how to protect yourself. Don't give out personal information. Don't give out your name, address, date of birth, SIN, bank and credentials. Again, I don't give those to people that I know and love. I'm certainly not going to give them to a stranger. Don't accept friend requests from people you don't know. If you are friends with Sally Smith on Facebook, and then Sally Smith sends you a friend request, call Sally Smith and say, hey, I just got a friend request from you. What's up? I didn't send you a friend request. Okay. Delete and report. So the easiest way, Facebook will not accept one request to get rid of that account, but if you get a bunch of your friends to report that account as fake, they will take it down, investigate it, and then if they determine that no, it's actually just a coincidence of the person that has the exact same name, they'll bring the account back up. If they discover that no, in fact, they have used pictures from another account, it's gone. But you need probably about 5 people to report that before they'll do it. And if you all do it at around the same time, it makes it look a little more credible.
Just something we discovered. So my half-brother isn't on Facebook, and somehow one of our high school friends said, "Is your brother on Facebook?" And we're like, "No." They had created a Facebook page with them,
Yep.
his picture and his driver's license posted.
How'd they get that?
Not too sure. We got process and law involved, but so if you know somebody who's not on Facebook, it doesn't hurt to check to see if somebody's faking to be that.
Right.
No, especially if you're bored. Just type in
Oh, yeah.
this name and see
Oh,
if
yeah.
she comes up, and then bored.
I love being bored and investigating people on Facebook. It's fun. I don't even do that for the OPP. I just do it because it's interesting as heck. Did you have a question?
Yes, if you know somebody has died and they're still on Facebook, should you look at it?
There is a reporting mechanism through Facebook that you can report that that person is deceased. I did that with my mom when she passed away. I actually went on her account, and if you dig down through the menus, there's a way that you can report the person as deceased. They just, yeah, no, there are ways to report that kind of stuff on Facebook. But like obviously, when my mom died, she couldn't delete her account because she was dead. So it just stays there until somebody deals with it. As it turned out, my brother knew her credentials, and he just logged on as her and just deleted her account, and that was the end of it. So that's usually the best way. If you know somebody's, no, it's just left over from it could be left over from when the person actually deceased, because their account doesn't. If you don't log in for a month, it doesn't go, oh, well, that person must have died. We're going to delete the account, right? If somebody has to report it to them to let them know. And if it's fake, we can do it through the other way as well, by getting at least 5 people to report it as a fake account. Like if you know that it's not the same account that it was before the person passed away, report it as fake, and it'll go away. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. You could. Somebody could report that account as the person being deceased. And sorry, I'm so flippant when it comes to whatever. Death doesn't bother me at all. It happens. No. If you didn't have that service done, don't click on the link. If you did have, did I just get one of? Yes, I got one of those because I bought a new air conditioner from Best Buy, and they wanted me to go in and rate Costway, who was the manufacturer of the thing. I did the survey because I did buy the Costway air conditioner from Best Buy, so all of the stuff that they were asking me lined up, right? Best Buy would like you to do a survey on Costway for the air conditioner you purchased on April 28th. At that point I went, that's probably legit. Yeah. Some companies do like when you do surveys for them, for sure. You have to look for the signs, spelling, grammar mistakes. If you didn't just have your roofing done, you probably shouldn't do a roofing survey, that kind of thing. So just kind of do a little bit of digging. Spelling and grammar are 2 big ones when it comes to those types of phishing things. But if I go through the survey and it's asking me for my name, my address, my phone number, you don't need that. You already had that from when you did the service for me. So at that point, it kind of looks sus. So I'm not going to do your survey. If you're asking me stuff you should already know. So, okay. Don't invest money in platforms provided by people you don't know. Here's a big one. I know it's not going to apply to anybody in here, but we've had a couple of overzealous teens and young adults get caught with sending intimate photos out to people. It happens. I'm not judging it one way or another, right? But those pictures can be used then to extort, and if it's not something you would want printed on the front page of the newspaper, probably don't send the picture out, right? I have a 14-year-old stepdaughter. We're constantly having this discussion with her, right? It's easy to fall into the trap. It's easy to, you know, you're in with a group of girls, you're having a sleepover, weird things. I don't know what goes on at these teenage sleepovers, right? All I know is she comes home bouncing off the walls for 5 days from all the Smarties she's eaten and, you know, that kind of thing. But we're always having these discussions, right? Don't let people dupe you into doing anything you don't want printed on the front page of the newspaper, right? So it does happen, but just don't send those kinds of images out. Don't because you don't want them to be used as an extortion for you. Protect your online accounts. So that's don't share your passwords, that kind of thing. Never send money to someone you haven't met. Don't respond to text messages from phone numbers you don't recognize. Be wary of people asking you to open and fund new crypto accounts and that kind of thing. They'll direct you to send it to wallets that they control, like electronic wallets. Just if you don't do it, you can't get burned. Online merchandise scams, just beware if you're shopping with people on Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace, this kind of thing. Don't never prepay for, I've had so many heated discussions with friends about prepaying for items. Like, why are you sending that person the money before you get the thing? Oh, it's safe. No, it's not. Come to one of my talks and I'll tell you that it's not, right? Check the seller's rating and the feedback from other shoppers. Generally speaking, if it's 4 stars or higher, they're probably a decent person to deal with. And I'm always interested too in the number of transactions that they've done. Because if you've done 99 transactions and they're all 4-star rating or higher, I'm okay. I'm okay buying your stuff or selling you my stuff. Consider meeting in a safe location. For example, police station parking lots have online purchase parking spots that are covered by a camera, right? So it's being recorded 24/7. So we have parents that do kid exchanges there because it's a safe place to do a kid exchange, this kind of thing. If they don't get along, just go to the police station parking lot and do your kid exchange there, right? If you buy something online, go to the police station, park in the parking lot. And here's the thing: if Nate's trying to sell me something, and I go, "Yeah, man, I'm in. I'll buy your Flin Flan for $4,000, no problem. Meet me at the OPP parking lot." And then if Nate goes, "Ooh, I'm not. No, not doing that." I'm bouncing on that sale, because if he's not willing to meet me at a parking lot, there's something wrong, right? Never have a person come into your home. Don't go to their home. Do it in public. Do it at a Tim Hortons parking lot where there's lots of people around and, you know, that kind of thing. And again, if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not. So don't do it. Pull the plug. Don't feel pressured, right? If Nate then gets upset at me and he starts spamming me like, "Oh, why won't you meet?" Blah, 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 blah. Nate blocked Facebook. Gone. See you later. Don't have to worry about it. Not going to cry a single tear about it. So just do your due diligence and protect yourself. So some red flags: don't be afraid to say no. Don't react impulsively. Scrutinize urgent requests. Again, just take that pause. Just pause. Take a step back. Talk to your friends, your family, your loved ones. Be like, "This is what I'm thinking. What do you think?" And if they go, "What are you, nuts?" It's probably not a good idea, and they're seeing something from the outside perspective that we're not seeing because we got wrapped up in the heat of the moment, right? Ask questions and talk to family members or friends. Request any information in writing, and if in doubt, be anti-Canadian and just hang up the phone. Watch out for urgent pleas that play on your emotions. So, you know, always verify that the organization you're dealing with is legitimate. Don't give out personal information, right? That's the 4th time we've covered that particular one. It's an important one. Be aware of unsolicited calls or emails that ask you to confirm or update any personal or financial information. right? Protect your computer by ensuring your I love giving this slide to this age bracket that may not be as technically astute as the younger generation, right? And I'm with you guys. I'm here. So protect your computer by ensuring that your operating system and security software are up to date. Does everybody know how to do that? You've got a session coming up on email. Maybe you should do one on updating your OS, right? I feel like that would be a conflict of interest. Secure your online accounts. Use strong passwords, right? This is the dumbest password requirement I've ever seen in my life, exclamation mark. Where possible, enable two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is after you put in your password, it's going to say, enter the code that we just sent to your cell phone that we're not going to give to anyone else, right? Right. Enter that code, that's two-factor authentication. First factor was your username and password. Second factor is the code that you have to enter, right? My company uses an app called Okta Verify that pops up a thing on my phone saying, is this you trying to log on to this thing within this company organization? Yes, it's me. And as simple as that, but that is also a two-factor authentication. Watch out for pop-ups and emails with spelling and formatting errors. If you get an email from the Bank of Montreal, it's probably not legit, right? Feel like they spend a lot of money on marketing stuff. So some websites such as music, game, movie, adult websites may try to install viruses or malware without your knowledge. Be aware of any attachments and links that they may contain malware or spyware. Never give anyone remote access to your computer. Unless you work for my company and I'm doing your ticket for you, then please give me access to your computer. Disable your webcam or storage devices when not in use. I love this. Sometimes I need to have people send me their laptop. I do work out of my house. Sometimes I have to update the operating system and security software on their computer. So I have them ship it to me. And when I get the computer, there's a piece of black electrical tape over the camera that's on the laptop, and I just love that. Somebody put a sticker that said smile over the camera, and I don't know why they were telling themselves to smile because they blocked their camera. I don't know. Okay, that's fine, whatever. So disable your webcam, and if you're having technical problems with your computer, take it to Geek Squad at Best Buy. My kid used to work there. It's legit, it's above board. They don't do anything shady there. They can get terminated for doing that, so that you're not going to risk your job for doing that, but take it somewhere, or if your grandkid or kid is technically astute, obviously it's someone you trust and love, they can do that part for you, but I wouldn't let a stranger do it. Okay, we'll all use yours and send ours in on your account then. Oh, no, I'm kidding. So you have a Geek Squad account? Yes. Remotely. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, because it's legit because you actually signed up through Geek Squad, right? And then you initiate the, hey, I need help part. It's not them going, hey, you need help? Let us in, right? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that at all. Protect your online accounts by taking the following steps. Change your password regularly and create strong passwords. Use a minimum of 8 characters, including uppercase, lowercase, and at least one number and a symbol. Make it unique for every online account. Yikes. Yikes. It's a good idea, though. Right? Don't use ABC123 for every account that you log on to, right? One tip I can give you there, if it's for Gmail, start your password with a capital G and a capital M. If it's Facebook, start your password with a capital F, capital B. And then use the other part of the password, you can keep that all the same, right? But if they try to take your Google password, log on to Facebook, it's not going to work. But in your mind, you go Facebook, FB, and then my grandson Johnny is the most amazing. Perfect. Enable multi-factor authentication. We talked about that, right? Two-factor authentication. Only log into your accounts from trusted sources. Don't reveal personal information over social media. That seems like a good idea. That seems like a good idea. Okay, so where can you go for help? Obviously, OPP, we're here to help. Call the non-emergency number, or you can use our detachment locator and go into your closest detachment. For you folks, it's Primrose, right? Highway 10 and 89. And if you're a little closer to Orangeville, you could drop into the Orangeville detachment at 390 C line. You have different options depending on where you live. You can do it in person by attending your local police service, or you can do it over the phone by calling in. If you call the non-emerge number, they'll assign an officer to your case. Unfortunately, it's a lower priority than some of the other things that the road people may have on the go. If they have, you know, a domestic, they're going to work the domestic first before they contact you about your other thing. If they have a break and enter, unfortunately, that's going to, well, not unfortunately, but that's going to take priority over this, right? But they will call you back. You're encouraged to report the incident to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. You can contact the CAFC by calling toll-free that number. But if you Google Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, they have a beautiful website. And they have all their contact information right there on their website, so you don't have to memorize this phone number. OPP's non-emerge number is 888-310-1122. I always put that, I have that in my phone, just because if I'm out and about somewhere, I use *677, but if I'm in an area that doesn't work for whatever reason, then I'll have that number in my phone. And then the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. You also have Consumer Protection Ontario, the Better Business Bureau, Equifax, and TransUnion. So we work very closely, OPP, with community partners to support numerous anti-fraud projects, doing presentations like this, right? We'll go out to churches, senior homes. We've been requested by the Legion to do them there as well. Wherever we feel that there's a potential vulnerable sector, we're more than happy to go out and do that. I've done dozens of them over the last 5 years that I've been involved with OPP. It's one of my favorite things to do in uniform, because as auxiliaries, we are unpaid volunteers. So I'm here on my time to make sure that you guys remain safe in your day-to-day activities, kind of thing. You can sign up and get, I made the mistake of joining their page on Facebook, and wow, do they ever put out a lot of information on a frequent basis. I actually unsubscribed from that because it was a lot. So, but you can sign up and get those email notifications and that kind of thing, okay? You can follow us being OPP, so we are Central Region, so we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, and we have Twitter. Anybody use any of those other than Facebook? No? Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Okay, so I get a text that, hey Mom, it's my new number.
I'm so glad you brought this one up, because this is a new one.
Father's Day weekend.
If you don't know your kid's cell phone number,
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't get frauded.
right.
But I want it to be in the system. I don't call OPP and let them know, right? Because I haven't been frauded.
No, that's a case where I would probably just be inclined to hit the report spam as part of that. That's probably likely that the text message, the carriers will see that similar message is going out to more than X amount of phones. They should have already marked it and shut it down, but in the event they didn't, they should put a report spam clickable thing at the bottom of that text message that's outside of the text message. It appears as a link below the text message because it didn't come as part of the text message. It came from your carrier going, hold up, this looks suspicious. We're going to give you an opportunity to report it as spam, right?
So when do you want us to contact the OPP? Only if we've been frauded then?
If there's an attempt to fraud, so if somebody calls you and says, I want your money more than you want your money, we want to know about that, right? If there's an attempt for somebody, for any one of the things we've talked about, doesn't have to be complete. It's the attempt was made. If you can give us a phone number, an email address, if the person was in person, a description of the person, license plates, you know, any and all information you can give us. Timeline of events is key, because again, if you've got this stuff going on and you live in Shelburne and we get 5 other calls from people in Shelburne, we have a good feeling that Shelburne is being targeted in the automated phone calling thing, right? They're just going to cycle through Orangeville numbers 941 0000 0001 0002, and they're just going to keep, you know, until somebody falls for the scam. So yeah, if there's an attempt made, we definitely want to hear about it, and we're going to ask a lot of questions.
Some friends of mine got defrauded on the grandparents.
Right.
They got their money back. People came right to the house and picked up the money.
Yeah.
So they decided to tell their kids because it was supposedly one of their grandparents. But one of the things they said that grandparents are so prone to do, when somebody calls you and says, "Grandma, I'm in trouble,"
Yeah.
and you say, "Is this you, Eric?" They
Yeah.
say the name of
Yeah.
the grandkid they think
Yeah.
is, and so then the person on the other end of the line says, "Yes, Grandma, it's me," and blah.
Yeah, or who else do you think it would be, Grandma, or, you know, or something like that? Yeah.
So that's one thing they said.
Yeah.
Like, don't even engage in the
Right.
conversation. Just hang.
I would throw a fake name and see what happens, right? I do. I do. I've still got it, right? No, you're right. And the other one that happens too is your phone will ring, you'll answer your phone, and they'll go, "Hello, can you hear me?" Don't say yes. Don't say yes. Because they're recording that call. They're going to use that yes. They're going to convolute it into something that you agreed verbally to some multi-thousand-dollar something or other. Oh, and here's the person saying yes. "Hello, can you hear me?" Click. I like to scream. I love screaming. Yeah. They're not. The police do not make arrests for third-party fraud. We will make an arrest for first-party fraud. So if you come and say, "Hey, Officer Jason Miles, just like here's all the step-by-step timeline, everything, whatever," it guarantee they're going to be showing up at my door going, "What's up?" Right? But no, if the bank says, you know, the big one is CRA, right? They'll call pretending to be from CRA. "If you don't pay your taxes, the police are coming to get you. We're going to deport you." I'm sorry, I'm a Canadian citizen. Where are you deporting me to? I will take Mexico or Cuba if I'm giving options, right? Maybe not Cuba right now, but right? You're not gonna deport me. I'm a Canadian. Plus, send them to my door. I'm fine. Someone else?
People are really that yes thing now.
Yeah.
I do income taxes for a company in March and April, and when you call people to ask them questions to prepare their income tax return, and if someone answers the phone, we've stopped now saying, "Oh, is this Millie?" Because everybody hesitates now. They know that they're not supposed to answer
Yeah.
yes. So we now have to say, "Oh, hi, it's Mary McKean calling from Nancy Pratt's office, and I just have a couple of questions about your income tax return."
You're streaming this live, right? You need to charge them for a plug now because she just slipped a free little plug in there for tax filing. No, you're fine. I think it's hilarious. Did they plant you here? Okay. All right. Yeah.
But people are concerned
Yeah.
about saying yes
Yeah.
when you
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I actually had a legit case where I was ill-advised to not file business taxes for a couple of years and build up depreciation on the way it was explained to me. I probably misunderstood because when it comes to taxes, I'm not the smartest person. So I waited for a period. It was 5 years, and then I got a call one day. I'm in my office, and is this Jason Miles? And I'm already suspicious, right? Because it's block number and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, it's so-and-so. I'm your account manager with CRA. Uh-huh. Blah, blah, blah. And it goes through the whole spiel. And I ran him around the circle for 45 minutes. I was bored that day. So I ran him in circles and circles and circles. And finally he said, Mr. Miles, do you have access to your CRA account online? Uh-huh. All right. Go log on. I just sent a message to your account. I log on. I'm like, oh, sorry, sir. How can I help you? What can I do to alleviate my problem? So yeah, he laughed. He's never had anybody run him through the ringer like that. So yeah, it was fun. I think somebody over here may have had a question.
Just an example, if you think you're sending money to a friend,
Yeah.
you should call that friend.
If they're that much of a friend, I'd probably just go get the money and take it to them or have them come and pick it up, right?
A friend of mine, she thought that I was sending her a message about an investment, and we live in the same building.
Yeah.
And,
She come beating your door down?
well, she phoned me because the message that she thought was that to e-transfer me this money.
Oh, an e-transfer request.
Yes.
Those are great.
And she phoned me and said, why would I, like, we live 4 floors apart, so she phoned me and said, I'll just bring the money up to you.
And you're like, okay, what are you talking about?
That's exactly what I said, what do you want?
Free money? I would have let her show up.
And then she went on with
Oh dear.
information.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely clever. It's actually shocking how clever they are. But yeah, the people can. If I know Nate's email, I can make a request through Interact that Nate send me money. I'm actually going to do that before we leave, and then you can go ahead and send it to me. Yeah, it'll be a legit request. So
Also right now, Bell, supposedly Bell,
yeah.
is also doing calls about putting in new modems.
So I don't know about Bell. That makes sense because I know Fido is winding down their internet service. They're actually porting, it's Rogers, right? Fido is Rogers. They're porting all of their Fido internet customers over to Rogers. So my girlfriend did actually get a call, and again, we were suspicious as ever. So I encouraged her to hang up, log into her account with Fido, and sure enough, there was a big banner that said, "Hey, we're cutting people over." If they're doing an endeavor like that, they owe it to people to put it on their media, social media, and so that you can verify that information.
Except in this case, it wasn't. This person,
So it was fake.
this person called and said they were from Bell installing new, and they said in the condo building,
Oh,
she agreed, he gave her a name, he gave her an employee number, and I'm gonna come and see you to install this new modem. So she made an appointment with him, et cetera, et cetera. A couple days later, he called and said, I've been working on this, but I need access to your computer. Can you give me your password? She did $10,000 for it.
ouch. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And she,
That's heartbreaking.
between some of this, I said to her, why don't you call the Bell phone number that you were given?
Yeah,
She phoned Bell, no, they didn't have this person's name.
right.
Not an employee number. She did get money back from the bank.
Oh, good,
She got her money back.
good.
It was,
And she reported the fraud, right?
yeah, she did.
And was there a conviction that we know of or an investigation? Not that she's aware of. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm glad she got her money back. That's as we've been hearing. That's not always the case. So
I wish I had a quarter of the knowledge. But I become so paranoid that I don't answer the phone anymore. If it's
Yeah, I'm with you. I won't answer the phone sometimes if I recognize the number. So Mike Smith.